right, it's part 2 of the sewing room home construction deconstruction project. So the first thing I have to do is move the radiator out of the way here. And I got lucky with the one side is already loose, and I'm just going to take these channel locks and take off this other side here. Now hopefully this thing isn't too heavy to move. And I'm just going to turn it in, just a little ways, get it out of the way here. Hopefully it doesn't go through the floor. So it looks like I have some work back here to do. That might have even been a little bit of heat damage or water damage, not really sure, but that'll probably have to come apart right there. So that's okay. We'll just we'll repair it and it'll be fine. So I'm going to try to repair this particular corner, but we're going to take care of it, in the future here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this board here and I'm going to put this board up on the wall so that when I'm taking the lath and plaster apart, that we can have kind of a solid line where I can join the sheetrock to. It's nice to have a kind of a straight line when you do the patching instead of this jagged thing that takes a whole bunch of plaster in it. Let me find a tape measure here. Man, I got this darn cough. I don't know why, but probably acid reflux, everybody's favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and measure here up by the window and probably put the line at about 18 inches. And that's about how big I'll have each. Actually 18 is too big. So let's go 16 here. And that's where we're going to put our board at. I get my tape measure to stay here. And this doesn't have to be exact. I mean, all I'm trying to do is avoid breaking as much of the wall as possible. And what that board does, it just gives us a nice, a potentially nice line there for breaking the actual plaster. This is just a 1x2, and actually it's a scrap even of a board that I actually cut up, and so we're just going to screw that onto the wall here. Looks like I've done it before with this particular board. And once again, it doesn't have to be exact on the line, but it's a guesstimate to make things look halfway decent when you start breaking it up. And these are, I think it's like 2-inch screws that I'm using. And what happens is the screw is just going all the way through this board, through the approximately 1/2 inch of plaster, and then into the lath, which is behind the plaster. I'm putting them approximately every foot apart. And then when I'm done with this section, then I'll move it to the next section of the wall. I'm actually going to end up putting this board probably vertical when I break this, because I want to break it wherever there's a joist for my sheetrock patching. Next thing we have to do is we're going to start removing this trim, and we want to put it back on, so we don't want to ruin it if we get it all off. So you just got to be kind of gentle when you take it apart here. And I have to take it off all the way down. So it looks like this piece was put on first. So we're going to need to go take this other end off, because that's the way it was jointed. I've used this tool before, and this is a nail puller. So these are all theoretically finished nails, and what you want to do is, if at all possible, pull the nails out from the back side so you don't have splits and stuff on the face of your wood. This is a nifty nail puller that I bought offline like many years ago. And it's really been a really good object to have here. And I'm just going to pull out the nails now so that I don't have to worry about them later. And then I can take this trim and put it aside. See, pulls it out, and no mark in the front from it. Now, one thing about older wood is oftentimes it is harder because it's had lots of time to get petrified. So you want to do kind of, still want to be somewhat gentle with it so you don't break the wood up, especially this trim stuff, because it is pretty brittle. Now later down the road, I will scrape all this paint off the backside, or all the bumps and stuff, so that it goes on pretty smoothly when I put it back together. In the olden days, they didn't have nail pullers or nail guns like we do today. So a lot of these were finished nails that were simply put in, and then they countersunk them with a little countersink tool. So as you can see, I didn't put any new holes into the face of this wood here. Now these are nails that were right on the surface. When I took to pull them out, obviously there was paint on the top of them. But that's how you do that. Oops. Get this next part of the wall off here. And once again, you just need to be gentle with the wood so that you don't break it up or anything, ruin it. Now I gotta pull the nails out on this one. Okay, that one's off. Now we need to pull off this bottom board here. And it looks like we need to start down at the other end. interesting piece of trim because it looks like they put this on the floor first, and then it has this groove here. Not something that I've never seen this before. So they put this on the floor, then the other trim fits right into this groove. Nail puller. You just want to make sure that you pull the stuff apart gently. Otherwise, you can screw it up and you don't want that. So. Pull gently with a lot of muscle. That's what it is. There's that piece, that one's done. Now we'll take the large board off the wall. I found a nickel! I found a nickel! Treasures. Looks like we found this. The fundamental principles of tanning are divided into two branches, vegetable and mineral. So this must have been some sort of shoe polish thing from the price of $2 to have your shoes tanned. There's the advertisement for it, so, but that's going in the garbage. And we got another special item here. Who knows what this was, but Messiah's Kingdom looks like some sort of a religious card there. So obviously the people that put this together must have been religious or somebody who lived here, because here's another H.W. Longfellow, 1887 to 1880. What was that? 1882, some sort of card there. I'm going to put on my gloves though, because I think that's a good idea. Now this particular room that I'm working on here, this was actually part of the original structure of the house before any additions were put on. So, there might be treasures that I would find in this part that I wouldn't find in other parts of the house. Little pair of scissors. These aren't necessarily antiques. I've seen those in sewing kits before, but they're probably 50 years old or so, 60 years old. Went in a little sewing kit. Now, one thing, I don't know if you can see it on here. Seems like almost every big piece of lumber that I ever pick up always has handwriting on it. This is Illinois, Loda, Illinois. So obviously this is probably where the product either came from or who it was going to be delivered to here in Loda, Illinois. And there it is in big letters again on that part. When you take these boards off, you got to remember also to check for nails that are still in the wall, because those have got to come out. Got a nail here that's stuck in the corner that doesn't want to come out. So, see if I can use these fancy channel locks to get it out. Wait, broke off. So at some point, somebody put caulk down on the bottom of this, probably as a weather stripping of sorts. But obviously, the problem is bigger than just sealing up on the bottom of the baseboards. Lots of bobby pins in here, even a button. Little short stubby pencil. That's kind of weird that somebody would keep something like that short. They must have been really desperate for pencils to keep it an inch long. All right, let's move on to the other side here. Get this big long one out. Let's try to take the bottom piece out first then. So it appears that this bottom piece is nailed to the floor, so we're going to have a challenge at getting this thing out of here without breaking it anyway. I think what I'm going to try to do now that I have the top pulled out is I'm going to just try to pry it up from the floor and see if I can get it out that way. Trick is if you just exercise a little bit of patience, it'll come out. Without. Now I have broken these things before, so just be gentle with them. And your chances of breaking them are a whole lot less. I'm not sure what all that was in there for, but that's weather stripping to try and seal a crack. So that's not really the way to do it. Here we go. All out. Now we got to pull the nails out of it. Before we go any farther, bucket my nail puller here. So obviously they were really desperate with trying to solve the air leaks and coldness in here by doing things like that. And what it really needed was some insulation in the wall. But that had to be done before the house was built. And of course, at the time the house was built, you know, they weren't putting insulation in the wall like they do today. I'm not sure what they really did back then, other than they just built a house. Golly! Ay, ay, ay. That nail does not want to come through. It's out. Again, the reason we're doing it this way is so that we don't ruin the face of the board. This one may have to be pounded out. I cannot get that out. Maybe. Well, it's not going to go that direction either. So we'll just have to pull it out. Come on. Hand's killing me. All in the name of saving the face. I don't know. That's why you don't want to take it out. Even though it looks like that was already broken, let's see, the board's cracked there. But obviously it was cracked before because it's got paint in it, so I didn't do it.
Another one. Oh my goodness. We're gonna do this without breaking the board. And this is why some remodel projects take a long time if you want to save the material and reinstall it. And then, of course, make it look like it was never taken apart. That's the way I've tried to do it on most of this house, including the outside. If I do a repair, the idea is to make it look like it's always been that way. A lot of people on construction jobs and remodel, they just go ahead and cut things up and without any regard to the craftsmanship of keeping it authentic, which is too bad. That's the way some people work, but that's not the way I work. Now, I have yet to find anything that's really valuable in any wall or floor or whatever that I've taken apart. It hasn't happened. But, I may get lucky someday and find something. Sure put a lot of nails in this though. More weather stripping here. Now, if you're trying to comment and have a conversation, just to let you know, it's just me running the camera, so there's no one to respond to any comments if you decide to put something in the chat room. So, sorry about that.
Maybe someone could answer the questions if someone put something in the chat about what to do. I just can't even see the stuff. I don't have my glasses on, and I'm not up by the camera, so. Or, I mean, close to the camera, I'm not close to the computer. You'll have to actually send a message to me, like on YouTube or my Facebook page, if you need a question answered about something that I'm doing or why I'm doing whatever, and I'll just have to answer it afterwards because like I said, I'm not by the keyboard here. More weather stripping. All right, there's that board. I'm just gonna move it out of the way here kind of for now. Now I'm gonna take this big one out. And we'll start down at the end that's already loose, down there. right, let's get the nails out of this one. And my nail puller. Lots of nails in this thing. Looking for the stud, obviously. To give you a quick side note here, I actually tried to start refinishing the trim here and stripping all the paint, and I discovered in the process that it's actually a mix of stuff. So some of it's pine, some of it's oak, some of it's maple. It's really quite a mix here. This particular trim that I'm taking apart here looks to be pine. So they didn't necessarily use all precious materials or precious woods in this house. What I'm going to do with this lumber now, since it's going to be in my way during the construction, is I'm actually going to go take it and put it in another room. Oops, missed a nail. And I put my nail clip. Yep, they use lots of weather stripping on this. luckily I've got enough rooms to go put this stuff in. Now that I have the trim taken off, I can now take the time to start taking off the plaster and the lath. And that's what I got all these waste buckets for. Start putting stuff in there as I take it apart. Now once again, I put the board on here. I don't know if you can see it there in the glare. Yeah, you can. That is going to help make it so that I don't destroy the upper plaster. So when I put the sheetrock on, it'll be a pretty straight line, all the way across here. At least that's a theory anyway. Ow. So once again, if you're just entering this live stream, I can't make any comments because it's just me. And you'll just have to send me a message and I'll have to answer it later. I suppose if I took my time and went and answered the messages anyway, I wouldn't be getting anything done. So you'll have to wait till after I'm off the wall here. Looks like a piece of paper that somebody probably used as an insulation tool. But they were freezing. Another bucket. Got plenty of buckets. More weather stripping. going to go ahead and take off some of the lath on this. Well, there was a penny in there, I think. Let's see if it's a penny worth anything. Pretty fancy button. Let's see what we got. I think that's a penny anyway. No, it's an Indian head. Look at that. Found an Indian head penny in the wall. Isn't that amazing? Woohoo! Probably need to put my glasses on to see what that is. But yeah, I didn't expect to find that in the wall. An Indian head penny. Got a year on it someplace here. It's like 1902. How do you like that? Don't lose that. Look at that. We can find treasures in walls. Fancy button with I don't know what that is. It's like a pearl button, I think. That's what that is. So it just means when you're taking stuff out of the walls like this that have never been opened, you just gotta be careful. You're not gonna find any paper in there that has any value, and if you do, you'll probably break it up before you even get it out. But you know, things like metal, the coins, you know, obviously that's a possibility. The button. I suppose back then, if it was really a large coin denomination, like a gold coin or something, it probably would have torn the wall apart. Now, all the stuff I'm taking out of there by hand, but I'm gonna vacuum and get all the junk out of there. I'm not gonna examine for more, but that's probably the only coin I'll find. I mean, I could find more. Well, there's another pearl button. Obviously, someone had a piece of furniture or something here. There's more buttons. Can't have enough buttons. Another button. So this stuff right here, this is actually spraying insulation. And so at some point in time, somebody did a weatherization of this house, and they did spray in the wall insulation. So what that means is they take the outside of the house and they drill a hole and then they stick a hose, as it were, into the wall, and then they fill it up with this blow-in insulation. And that's how they do this. And sometimes you get good fills and sometimes you don't. Let me see if this is an important call here. Someone from Loda. Yellow. Good. What's up? Well, was it a check that you paid? Yeah. You got a check number, and I'll go look for it. Okay, I understand. Well, if you could look up a check number, then I could trace it easier. Was it with the stub, payment stub? Well, you know about when you did it? Well, I'll go see if I can rummage through there. But in the meantime, if you find a check number or something, I can look that up really easy. Yeah. Can you look that up on your bank or on your statement? Yeah. It's only 5 days, you said? Well, I'll go look and see if I see anything that has that kind of amount on there. And if I don't, I'll let you know. And if I don't see it, I'll let you know. All right, bye. Someone asked about their water bill. That one I'm not answering. So in any case, we got lucky, found a treasure. Doesn't usually happen, but it happened while I was filming. It's pretty good, I guess. Anyway, what was I saying about the spraying insulation? So I'm actually going to throw this away, and then I'm going to put the actual insulation in this wall. I just don't like messing with this stuff. It's just really annoying and messy and junk, so I just do it rather than trying to keep it in there. Now, if it's really solid, then I'll keep it, but this isn't really solid, so I'm just going to throw it away. another bucket. I'm gonna mute this camera while I do the vacuuming. All right. Since I found a one coin, I'm gonna go ahead and open up this vacuum cleaner and be digging for gold here. And it looks like we got another penny. Look at that, another penny. Another Indian head, even. That's 2 pennies out of the wall. This one is a oh, I can't tell, but I think it's 1902 also. Another pearl button. Another pearl button. No, that ain't no pearl button, is it? So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to dump this bucket out. So if I use a vacuum cleaner again, and I want to be a digging for gold, that I can do it again with a nice clean bucket. No more money in that one. All right, now I'm gonna take this other section of insulation out here. I guess while I'm breathing this good, let's get her done. Seems I have to get some more buckets, and I'm gonna get a face mask on because I'm tired of breathing this stuff. But there you saw today's find. 2 Indian head pennies on the wall. Probably not worth a whole lot, but it's a treasure. And we'll do some more live when I'm ready to go working some more of this. So signing out for now.